Hi again guys, I'm back with another unboxing from my latest order from cubes.com. This is the next one, which is going to be another one of the Bermudaminxes. Let's think, will this one be? I can't remember what I ordered now. Oh, this one looks like it might be stickered, which will be a first. All the others I've bought have been unstickered, so that makes a nice change. It is indeed. I've had to sticker all the other ones myself, so yeah, this is the Earth version. I don't know what the face pattern is on this one. I said, I'll be honest, I did decide I was going to get the whole series because I enjoy the puzzles so much. I've played with. This is the 5th one I've opened now, and so I was just getting the next two in the series basically when I place this order. So let's see, we've got a trapezoid on the white and grey faces, so that's going to make things interesting. Of course, if you're anything like me, you generally aim for the white and green faces. Did I just say white and green faces? I think I did. I meant to say white and grey faces. So I usually aim for the white or grey face as a start point or a finish point, but on this one it's probably going to be different. So what we've got a trapezoid and a rhombus next to each other there. A trapezoid and a rhombus next to each other there, which are opposite each other. Now let me, I'm curious, let me just grab my Neptune. Because I want to compare and contrast the placement of the special faces. So you've got a trapezoid and a rhombus next to each other, like so. And you go around, so you've got another one different colours, but they are next to each other there. And then you go around this side, and you've got the same again. The only difference is the orientation of them, actually, I think, which most definitely does affect things. But yeah, you can see that the rhombus on the blue face here kind of points into the corner, whereas on this one it points halfway on the side. So that definitely does affect things, don't get me wrong. It changes the bandaging of the puzzles, but it looks like it's the only difference between the Neptune and the Earth. So I'm curious to see what kind of difficulty level this has in comparison to the Neptune. So yeah, that'll be interesting. So let's have a look how it turns, and just like the others, it turns perfectly well. And just like the others, you've got to do some setup moves to turn some faces like this. I've got to turn 3 different faces to be able to turn this green one, because you see that the starting point of the white face, that blocks the green. I haven't got a cut that goes across the green face there, so I'll have to create one by a half turn there. And it's the same here on the blue face. I have to turn that slightly, but I can't turn that slightly until I've turned excuse me, until I've turned the grey face. So I turn the grey face, the blue face and the white face, and then I can finally make a turn on the green face. So that's the kind of thing you get with these puzzles. You find that you get a lot of this bandaging with them, and that's the fun of them, actually. That's what adds the challenge and the fun to the puzzles, and this is what makes them so enjoyable to me. So you do have to turn something to get the purple face turn as well, because the blue's blocking that, but that's not going to be too difficult because the blue turns freely anyway. The white turns freely. Yeah, this looks like it's going to be an interesting variant. I'm just actually looking, because I don't think, no. Yeah, that's something that's different between this and the Neptune as well. There's none of the kind of Fisher style faces. You see here you've got the white face that always has to be turned in this position, whereas the Earth hasn't got any of those kind of faces. You've got, you know, a different shape pattern on the face of the fissured faces, but you haven't actually got any of those on the Earth. So there's another difference that I hadn't noticed until just now. So yeah, this looks like it'll be interesting. So let's get it scrambled up, and I'll go away and give it a solve, because yeah, that's the whole point, of course. These do take a little bit of breaking in. I found with the other puzzles in the series, they're not awful or anything like. Oops, sorry, they're not awful or anything, but they do have a little bit of a breaking in process that they need. But there's so many different piece types on these. I think it's unlikely that they're going to turn perfectly anyway. But I mean, they do turn perfectly well. But I must admit they are slightly on the stiff side overall. There's nothing wrong with the turning quality as such. It's just it takes a little bit more effort to turn them, and it must admit it does leave me with a little bit of hand ache with the hand joint pain problems I've mentioned many times now. I don't want to bore you with it and make you think I'm obsessed with it or anything, but these puzzles do just definitely affect it slightly. But that's just a problem I have really, rather than a problem with the puzzle as far as I'm concerned. So it's not that I see that as a downside really of the puzzle in it or anything. It just means I have to take a break now and again when I'm solving them, that's all. Yes, this is turning just as the same way as all the other puzzles in the series, so yeah, this is absolutely fine. So this is the problem you get. You want to go to turn a face, you realise you can't, so you try and turn the face that's blocking it and you realise you can't turn that either, so you have to find another face that unblocks that one. And I think the dupe 2 actually was the worst one for that. There was, if you watch the video for that one, there was one face, I think it's the white, it's a while since I've solved it now, that you have to turn like 5 different faces just before you can turn the white face. And it resulted in having to do so many setup moves every time you wanted to turn it, which is a lot of fun. I know I've said it numerous times now, but I really enjoy this puzzle series. They're challenging, but not in a really tedious way. Just the right level, I think, actually, to make it enjoyable but challenging, if that makes sense. If something's too difficult, if you're not making any progress whatsoever, then it can become quite frustrating. But like I said on the other versions of this, I always felt like I was making progress when I'm solving them. So yeah, that's all scrambled now. I'll go away and give it a solve, and I'll get back to you when I've done so. So the Earth Bermudaminx is now solved again. Not too tough, this one. Obviously it helps having experienced some of the other puzzles in the series. That, as with any other puzzle series, you gain a little bit of knowledge from solving the other ones. That helps you with these. In difficulty in terms of the ones I've got, this is the 4th one I have now. I would place this probably slightly easier than the Jupiter one. So the ones I've got, the Venus is the easiest, then this one, then the Jupiter, and then the Neptune, so far what I've got. So yeah, this is definitely, I found the Venus quite easy actually. This one definitely adds more challenge to the solve. There's something you need to find to kind of do the last part of the solve, which didn't come too difficult to me because I've kind of experienced that problem before on the other puzzles, but I think it'd take a little while to figure out if this was the first time you come into one of these puzzles. But yeah, the turning quality is absolutely fine. You might notice from the first part of the video that the sticker colour scheme has changed. I didn't notice at the time, but I've had to swap the purple and pink around because they were done the wrong way around. Purple should be up here, pink should be down here next to the grey, and they've got those two swapped around. So I've redone them with some spare stickers from the other puzzles in the series that I had lying around. So I'm glad I had those spare stickers because they normally come unstickered. I had a lot to spare, so I've redone them. The turning quality is fine. It's broken in quite nicely. I've done a couple of solves on this now, and yeah, it's turning well just the same as all the other puzzles in the series basically. It's nice, it's smooth, but it's a little slightly stiff. But if I understand correctly, there's a bit of fudging gone on with these puzzles, which means the shape has been kind of fudge to allow all the different turns and the different shapes of the different pieces on the puzzle to be able to work their way they do, and that, I suspect, contributes to the stiffness. It does do a little bit of corner cutting, as you can see, so you don't have to get things absolutely lined up, but what it doesn't do is any reverse corner cutting, not even, you can see, a tiniest fraction will not corner cut reverse at all, so you do have to kind of get things lined up quite carefully, just the same with all the other puzzles in the series. But the problem is sometimes if you try to turn a face and it won't turn, for example, if I try to turn this red face, it won't turn because it's bandaged. So whenever a face doesn't turn when you go for it, you kind of end up looking around trying to find the bit that's bandaged with what you've got wrong, and then you realise you haven't got anything, so you just have to make sure everything's all lined up carefully again and try again, sort of thing. You find yourself doing that quite a bit, or I do anyway. But other than that, it's just like the rest of the puzzles in the series, a lot of fun to solve. This is one that's definitely the easier end of the series, but I haven't got the entire series yet. I certainly intend to do so. I intend to get every one of the puzzles in this series, but yeah, this is definitely a fun one. Alright then guys, I think that's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Take care, bye.